The internet just exploded, and at the center of the firestorm stands Nicki Minaj, cornered, controversial, and facing a narrative so wild it feels ripped straight out of a Hollywood thriller. Because just when you thought the drama couldn't get messier, Hughley has broken his silence, and what he said sent shockwaves through Hollywood, political circles, and the barbs all at once. This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is reputations on the line. This is leaked whispers about financial panic. This is political allegiance colliding with personal chaos. And somehow, it all spiraled into rumors about homes, lawsuits, loyalty, and a MAGA twist nobody saw coming. It started with a live stream, a protest, a tweet that detonated like a grenade, and then, boom, Don Lemon fires back with words so sharp they cut through timelines in seconds. Hunt deportation talk, allegations, old immigration confessions resurfacing, screenshots flying, hashtags trending, fan bases at war. Behind the scenes, insiders whisper about money pressure, about legal storms tied to Kenneth Petty, about a $500,000 scramble that allegedly saved more than just property. It saved face. Or did it? Because now critics are asking one brutal question. Is this a political pivot or a financial survival strategy? And when DL stepped up to the mic, he didn't just respond, he detonated the narrative. What he revealed next changed everything. When Hughley leaned into that microphone, nobody expected him to light the match that would set the entire entertainment industry on fire. But that's exactly what happened. He didn't whisper. He didn't tiptoe. He didn't soften the blow. He went straight for the jugular, and within minutes, social media was spiraling into absolute chaos. It all detonated after Nicki Minaj's online meltdown over Don Lemon's protest livestream. One tweet turned into 10. 10 turned into a digital rampage. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Fan accounts began doxing critics. Political commentators piled in. And then Hughley decided he had seen enough. "I normally don't respond," he said, voice steady but loaded with venom. But this time, nah. That's when the temperature shifted. Because DL didn't just criticize Nicki. He questioned her alignment. He questioned her loyalty. He questioned her identity. And when he referenced her immigration background in the context of her MAGA leanings, timelines froze. People replayed the clip over and over, jaws on the floor. Within minutes, 2 hashtags were trending. Hashtag DL versus Nicki, hashtag Barb's attack, hashtag MAGA Queen. The internet wasn't debating anymore. It was detonating. And behind the scenes, sources claim Nicki was livid. An insider who claims to be part of her extended management circle leaked what they described as a frantic, late-night call. She feels betrayed by the industry, the source said. She thinks they're turning on her because she refuses to follow the script. Follow what script? That's when the money whispers resurfaced. Remember that lawsuit tied to Kenneth Petty? The one that allegedly forced a sudden $500,000 payment just to prevent further legal escalation. Insiders say the financial hit wasn't just a minor inconvenience. They say it shook the foundation. $500,000 in one sweep isn't pocket change, another so-called insider revealed. It was a scramble. A last-minute wire. Panic mode. And here's where it gets explosive. Allegedly, and this is where the rumors get nuclear, there were conversations about restructuring assets, about liquidating smaller properties quietly, about tightening budgets behind the glam. None of this has been confirmed publicly, but the whispers refuse to die. Critics began connecting dots that may or may not even exist. They asked whether her sudden flirtation with conservative spaces was ideological or strategic. Was she trying to tap into a new audience, a new revenue stream, a new political pocket with deep wallets? The speculation alone was enough to ignite a war. Meanwhile, Nicki wasn't staying silent. She doubled down online, posting cryptic messages about loyalty, betrayal, and fake activists. She reposted fan edits painting her as a misunderstood revolutionary. She liked comments accusing DL Hughley of clout chasing. Then came the leak that sent everything into overdrive. A blurry screenshot surfaced from what appeared to be a private group chat. The message allegedly read, "They think I'm broke? Watch what I do next." No verification. No confirmation. Just chaos. But the Barbs didn't need proof. They mobilized instantly. DL Hughley's comment sections flooded with snake emojis and fire gifs. Old stand-up clips resurfaced with captions calling him hypocritical. His past jokes were dissected frame by frame. Within hours, he was trending for reasons he probably never imagined. And then he escalated. On his radio show, DL didn't backtrack. He leaned further in. He accused Nicki of distraction tactics. He implied that aligning with controversial political figures while carrying unresolved personal controversies was reckless. He suggested she should focus inward before swinging outward. The room went silent. Because this wasn't just about politics anymore. It was about patterns. DL referenced her history of defending family members through legal storms. He didn't dive into graphic detail, but the implication was loud enough. He questioned whether loyalty had become blindness, whether public defiance was masking private instability. Nicki's fanbase interpreted it as a direct attack on her character. What happened next felt cinematic. A short video clip began circulating. It allegedly captured Nicki backstage at a recent appearance, visibly agitated, pacing, gesturing, voice raised. The audio was muffled. But one phrase was clear. "They want me homeless, they want me broken." The clip exploded. Was she referencing the lawsuit scare? The rumors? The deportation comments? No one knew. But speculation filled the silence, and that's when another twist dropped. A blogger claimed to have obtained an audio recording of a heated phone conversation between someone described as a high-profile comedian and an unnamed industry executive discussing Nicki's financial vulnerability. The clip hasn't been authenticated. It could be fabricated, but the alleged voice says, "Pressure makes people pivot politically. Money talks louder than morals." That line alone fueled 1,000 think pieces. Was this all coincidence? Or was there a strategic chess game unfolding behind the scenes? Nicki responded the only way she knows how, theatrically. She posted a glamorous photo shoot with the caption, "Unbothered, unmatched, unmovable." But eagle-eyed fans noticed something strange. The comments were restricted. For someone who thrives on chaos and engagement, that silence felt louder than any clapback. And then came the betrayal angle. A former collaborator, unnamed but verified, liked a tweet praising DL Hughley's criticism. Screenshots spread within seconds. Fans labelled it treachery. The collaborator quickly unliked it, but it was too late. The narrative had shifted. Suddenly, this wasn't just Nicki versus DL. It was Nicki versus a crumbling inner circle. Industry analysts began questioning whether the backlash was impacting brand partnerships. A cosmetics sponsor reportedly paused a campaign rollout. No official statement, but the timing raised eyebrows. Meanwhile, our conservative commentators began embracing her more openly, praising her for speaking out. Liberal critics pushed harder. The polarization was complete. And through it all, one question echoed louder than the rest. Is Nicki fighting the world, or fighting something closer to home? Late last night, another alleged leak surfaced, this time claiming that a tense confrontation occurred at a private gathering where Nicki reportedly vented about feeling financially ambushed by legal consequences she didn't create. Again, unverified. But the emotional tone felt real. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. When money stress collides with public scrutiny, even the strongest empires tremble. And if the whispers about last-minute payments, asset reshuffling, and strategic alliances hold even a grain of truth, well then this saga isn't just messy, it's combustible. DL Hughley may have thought he was offering commentary, but what he triggered might be a full-blown implosion. Because just as the internet thought the dust was settling, a new development surfaced early this morning. A scheduled live appearance from Nicki herself. No topic announced, no questions pre-approved, just a countdown clock. And if the rumours about what she plans to reveal are even half true, this war is about to escalate in a way nobody can contain. The countdown clock hit 0, and for a split second the entire internet held its breath. Then she appeared. No glam squad filter, no elaborate stage lighting. Just Nicki Minaj staring directly into the camera, eyes sharp, jaw tight, energy coiled like a storm about to break. Within 30 seconds, the live stream numbers skyrocketed into the hundreds of thousands. Comments flew so fast they blurred into a digital waterfall. And she wasted no time. "I've been quiet," she began, voice low but vibrating with tension. "But you're not about to play with my name. Not about my family. Not about my money." That last word hung in the air. Money. She didn't deny the whispers. She didn't confirm them either. Instead, she pivoted. Fast. She accused unnamed industry puppets of pushing a narrative that she was unstable, desperate, broke. She called it a coordinated smear campaign. Then she said something that detonated like dynamite. "I've had meetings this year that would make your favourite politicians nervous." The chat exploded. Was she bluffing? Was she hinting at political alliances? Was this about MAGA connections? The screenshots were taken in real time. Clips were chopped and reposted before she even finished speaking. And then came the bombshell. She addressed D.L. Hughley directly. "You want to talk about deportation?" she snapped. "You want to talk about where I belong? I belong wherever my hard work put me." She didn't say his name, but everyone knew. The energy shifted from defensive to combative. She accused critics of weaponizing her childhood immigration story against her. She framed it as hypocrisy, as betrayal, as selective outrage. But then, mid-rant, something cracked. Her voice wavered. "Do you all know what it feels like," she said, "to carry everyone?" That sentence changed everything, because suddenly the narrative wasn't just political. It wasn't just social media drama. It felt personal, raw, exposed. Within minutes, a so-called insider account posted alleged text messages claiming to be from someone close to her household. The texts described constant tension, financial pressure, and arguments about loyalty. Unverified, but viral. The live stream ended abruptly after 23 minutes. No goodbye, no mic drop, just a cut to black. And that's when the real chaos began. A second audio clip surfaced, allegedly recorded at a private industry dinner days earlier. In the clip, a woman who sounds eerily similar to Nicki is heard saying, "If I don't pivot, they'll bury me." The authenticity? Unknown. The timing? Suspiciously perfect. Meanwhile, D.L. Hughley responded again, but this time calmer, strategic. He said he stood by his comments but insisted he wasn't trying to cancel anyone. He framed it as accountability. That word poured gasoline on the fire. Nicki's fans interpreted accountability as coded language, as condescension, as an attack on a black woman navigating pressure. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. A former financial consultant who allegedly worked on a project tied to Nicki's tour accounting posted a cryptic tweet. "When last-minute wires save reputations, remember who really pays." The tweet was deleted within an hour, but not before it was screenshotted thousands of times. Suddenly, the $500,000 payment wasn't just a rumor. It became the centerpiece of the storm again. Analysts began speculating about cash flow versus net worth. Commentators debated liquidity versus assets. The narrative morphed from celebrity gossip into financial autopsy. And then, betrayal. A high-profile female rapper, the once publicly friendly with Nicki, liked to post praising D.L. Hughley's courage. Within minutes, barbs swarmed her mentions. Old collaborations were dissected. Subtweets were interpreted as shade. The rapper went live to clarify. "I'm not picking sides," she insisted. But the damage was done. Lines were drawn. On the political front, conservative influencers amplified Nicki's livestream, framing her as a fearless truth-teller targeted by liberal media. Progressive commentators fired back, accusing her of platforming harmful rhetoric. The polarization was complete, and behind closed doors, according to another anonymous source, there was an explosive argument. The source claims a heated confrontation took place at home over how this is being handled. Voices raised, doors slammed. The allegations of "I'm cleaning up messes I didn't make." Again, unverified. But the emotional undertone aligned with what viewers saw during the livestream crack. Then came the most shocking leak yet, an email, allegedly from a booking agency executive, suggesting that brand risk assessments were being re-evaluated in light of political volatility. No brand names mentioned, no confirmation. But corporate silence speaks volumes. Nicki responded hours later with a single tweet. "Y'all confuse pressure with panic. Watch." Watch what? That one word sent speculation into orbit. Rumors began swirling about a surprise music drop addressing everything head-on. Others claimed she was planning a political appearance. Some whispered about a documentary exposing industry manipulation. Then DL Hughley made a move that stunned everyone. He invited her onto his platform for an open conversation. No moderators, no pre-screened questions, just dialogue. The internet froze. Would she accept? Would she dodge? Would this turn into the most explosive live confrontation of the year? Fans began creating mock posters for the showdown. Think pieces predicted either reconciliation or total annihilation. But before any response came, another clip surfaced. This one allegedly captured Nicki in a private rehearsal space telling someone off camera, "They think I'm spiraling. I'm strategizing." Strategizing. That word shifted the mood again. Because what if this wasn't meltdown energy? What if this was calculated chaos? Industry veterans began weighing in subtly. One veteran producer tweeted, "In this business, the controversy can either bankrupt you or relaunch you." The implication was clear, and just as speculation peaked, a legal analyst on a major news network referenced the old lawsuit again, questioning whether financial entanglements could resurface if tensions escalate publicly. The word "homeless" started trending after a parody account joked about hidden hills for sale. Nicki didn't laugh. She posted a video from inside her home, sprawling staircase, marble floors, chandeliers blazing, captioned, "Still here." But eagle-eyed viewers noticed something unsettling. The camera lingered on packed boxes stacked near a hallway. Were they moving, renovating? Or was it just coincidence? No clarification followed. Meanwhile, DL Hughley's invitation remained unanswered. Tick, tock. The silence stretched. And just when it felt like the storm might plateau, a verified journalist teased an upcoming investigative piece about celebrity finances, political pivots, and behind-the-scenes power plays. No names. But the timing? Explosive. Because if that report connects dots that have only been whispered about until now, this saga won't just trend, it will detonate. The investigative teaser dropped at 8:03 a.m., and by 8:04, the internet was already in cardiac arrest. The headline didn't name her. It didn't need to. Pop icon's political pivot tied to financial freefall was enough to send shockwaves through timelines already on edge. Commentators dissected every syllable. Fans panicked. Critics sharpened knives. And then the article went live. It painted a picture, carefully worded, legally cautious, of a global superstar navigating mounting legal bills, sudden liquidity drains, and strategic outreach to politically influential donors. No direct accusations, no confirmed wrongdoing, just dots, hovering close enough to connect. Within minutes, the phrase "financial freefall" was trending alongside Nicki Minaj's name. She responded in under an hour, Not with text, with music. A snippet dropped on her social feed, aggressive beat, venom-laced bars, unmistakably pointed. "You counting my coins while I'm counting your lies," she rapped. "They pray for eviction. I build new empires." The clip detonated. Streams surged. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. TikTok remixes multiplied by the second. What critics called damage control, fans called genius. But beneath the bravado, the pressure cooker hissed louder. Because the article didn't just reference finances, it referenced internal tension and marital strain under public scrutiny. Anonymous sources described heated exchanges over whose decisions triggered the spiral. That's when Kenneth Petty's name resurfaced in headlines again, tied to the old lawsuit, the emergency $500,000 payment, and alleged legal obligations still lingering in the background. Nicki didn't mention him in the snippet, but hours later, she posted a photo of them together captioned, "10 toes down." The comment section turned into a war zone. Some praised loyalty. Others questioned judgment. A verified blue-check media personality tweeted, "Loyalty is beautiful, bankruptcy isn't." Deleted within minutes. Screenshots immortalized forever. Meanwhile, DL Hughley broke his silence again. Not with rage, but with restraint. He said he had no interest in kicking someone while they're under pressure, but insisted public figures must own their alliances. Then he dropped the line that twisted the knife. "Politics isn't a costume you wear when the bills come due." The internet gasped. Because whether intentional or not, it echoed the investigative article's implication that Nicki's MAGA flirtation might be less ideology and more insulation. And that's when the alleged recording surfaced. A grainy audio file leaked to a gossip blogger, reportedly capturing a tense exchange between a female voice resembling Nicki and an unidentified male voice arguing about who's paying for what. "You said you had it handled," the female voice snaps. "I didn't expect it to blow up like this," the male voice fires back. The clip cuts abruptly. No verification, no context. But the emotional intensity felt combustible. Nicki's team called it fabricated. Her fans called it sabotage. Her critics called it confirmation. The battlefield widened. Corporate brands stayed silent, but one scheduled campaign quietly vanished from a retailer's homepage. Conspiracy theories bloomed instantly. Was it coincidence, contract renegotiation, or brand distancing? Then came the political curveball. A conservative media outlet invited Nicki for an exclusive sit-down, teasing a conversation about free speech and media attacks. The invitation was public, loud, strategic. If she accepted, critics would scream opportunism. If she declined, supporters would call it cowardice. She responded cryptically, "Interviews are coming. Truth is louder." 3 hours later, paparazzi photos surfaced, showing moving trucks outside a property linked to her LLC. The caption? Renovation or relocation. Speculation hit DEFCON 1. Financial analysts on cable news began discussing celebrity asset management. They never said her name outright, but the timing was impossible to ignore. Words like leveraging equity and short-term liquidity crunch floated across screens. The word homeless trended again. Not as fact, but as fear. Nicki went live one more time. No filters, no music, just her. "They want a downfall narrative so bad," she said, eyes blazing. "But I built from nothing before, I can do it again." That sentence hit differently, because it wasn't defiant, it was resolute. She acknowledged pressure without admitting collapse. She spoke about carrying family, about mistakes made in trust, or about learning the hard way who benefits from chaos. She didn't mention DL Hughley, but she didn't need to. Hours later, DL posted a simple message. Conversations still open. The invitation remained. The possibility of a live showdown lingered like a thundercloud. Then the final twist dropped. A respected music industry insider revealed that Nicki had quietly secured a massive international performance deal. Overseas venues, advance payments rumoured to be substantial. Not desperation, expansion. If true, it would shatter the financial freefall narrative. But until contracts are confirmed, it remains just that, a rumor with teeth. So where does that leave us? A superstar accused of pivoting politically under pressure, a comedian refusing to retract, leaked audio that may or may not be authentic, brand silence that speaks volumes, of fan armies mobilized like digital militias, and a countdown to either redemption or reckoning. Because the story isn't about one tweet anymore. It's about legacy. It's about whether loyalty becomes liability. It's about whether controversy bankrupts you or rebuilds you louder. Nicki Minaj stands at the center of a cultural crossfire, daring the narrative to consume her. Hughley stands across from her, microphone steady, waiting. The industry watches. The internet refreshes. And somewhere behind closed doors, decisions are being made that could redefine everything. Because in Hollywood, silence is strategy. And the next move could change the game forever. If you think this story ends here, you haven't been paying attention. The real explosion might still be loading. If you just witnessed what unfolded and you're still sitting there quietly scrolling, you're playing with fire. Because this isn't just another celebrity spat that fades in 48 hours. This is a cultural collision. This is legacy versus loyalty. This is politics, power, pressure, and pride crashing together in real time. And the next update could drop at any second. You saw the live stream cracks. You heard the alleged recordings. You watched the investigative headlines circle like sharks. You felt the tension between Nicki Minaj and Hughley tighten with every response. And here's the truth. In moments like this, the narrative gets decided by who speaks the loudest and who controls the conversation. So don't sit on the sidelines. If you believe there's more beneath the surface, hit like right now. And that tells the algorithm this story matters. If you think DL crossed a line, say it in the comments. If you think Nicki is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, defend it below. But don't stay silent, because silence is how stories get rewritten without you. And subscribe immediately. Because the second that live face-off happens, the second another leak drops, the second a brand makes a public move, you do not want to be the last one finding out. We're tracking every twist, every betrayal, every behind-the-scenes maneuver. This isn't over, not even close. Turn on notifications, stay locked in, and be ready. Because when the next bombshell hits, it's going to shake everything all over again.